Hello, friends. Welcome and happy Friday to you. I know all of you are looking forward to In the Loop, but unfortunately, Greg's not able to make the show, and we'll be coming back to you with In the Loop next Friday for sure. But I didn't want to leave you hanging because there was a lot of good financial news to share with you today if you didn't know as we head into the weekend. So, welcome to today's live level up conversation. Whether you're tuning in live or catching me on the replay, I am so grateful to have you here with me. Happy Friday, and let's get started.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun. Market update. Speed round. Award-winning financial pro. And now, get ready. I present to you Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the show. I'm Winnie Sun, your host, an award winning financial pro, Forbes contributor, and a CNBC council member. And now I see Joshua joining us on YouTube Live. So, welcome, CrossX Fighter. It's great to have you with us. I see a lot of friends joining us on LinkedIn, all the different platforms. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you spending a little bit of your Friday here with me. Yes, usually on Fridays we do In the Loop, which is actually one of the highlights of the week. I love doing In the Loop with my good friend and co-host Greg Nibbler, but Greg isn't able to join us today, so he's going to be back with us hopefully next Friday. And so we'll do know that we are thinking of him. If he's watching, big hello to him. But here's what I want to tell you: the market hasn't closed yet. Currently, the Dow is down close to down 90 points, and the Nasdaq's down 30, and the S&P 500 is down 5 right now. Now that could actually change depending on the news that comes out, as everybody is paying really, really close attention to the talks that are happening in the White House regarding the debt ceiling. Now, the debt ceiling talks, as you know, the last 2 days, we got some pretty positive news that the Biden administration was sharing that the Republicans and Democrats seem to be making progress and that they really felt confident that a debt ceiling collapse would be avoided. But unfortunately, today, not such good news. And that's why you're seeing some weakness in the financial markets. That being said, if this doesn't improve and we don't see some of the news get better in the next hour or two, you can probably expect that market to continue to drop as investors are really paying attention to seeing if the government's going to be able to pay its debts in June. So high stakes talks continue around the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling deadline now is June 1st. A lot of things that are due in June. So it's very unclear right now if these negotiations will resume over this weekend. But I think that they probably will, unless they come up to make concessions and decide and come together today. So certainly you're seeing some dips in the financial markets. It's really, really interesting because we're hearing that Representative Garrett Graves from Louisiana stated that things were looking pretty good until there was some pretty reasonable conversations about moving forward and doing the right thing. But right now, it seems that he's and others are saying that the talks are unproductive, and each side is saying the other side is being unreasonable. So yeah, it just sounds like a married couple that's not getting along very well. So hopefully they can fix that, because for the sake of the American people and the financial system here in the United States and all the Americans that are dependent on payments being made in June, I hope they can come to some sort of conclusion. Be adults, make a deal happen. Come on, make a deal happen, and let's get this done. All right. The other story, the big story that I'm going to leave you with for today, is that on federal interest rates. All right. So I think this is actually one of the reasons why the market hasn't dropped even more substantially, because Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell came out earlier today and stressed that in the banking sector, there could potentially lower the need for high interest rates to control inflation, because some of these mid-sized banks, as you know, with Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, because of this, it might have helped prevent worst case scenarios. But nonetheless, these are still having impacts on the economy. And they're saying that the tools for financial stability have eased conditions in the banking sector, but have also contributed to tighter credit conditions that could weigh on economic growth and the issues of hiring. And of course, the big one that we're all concerned about is household and inflation, right? So, as a result, the policy rate may not need to rise as much. So, interest rates might not have to raise as much, which I think is going to be a good thing because if you've been watching the news, reading the news about mortgage rates and home purchases, well, people are feeling that rates are just too high. And like I think there was a study that came out that said over 70% of Americans surveyed felt like this was not a good time to purchase a home. And so there's still a lot of people looking to purchase a home who don't own a home. And that's really not a direction that we want to be in here in the United States, of course. So you're seeing, because of that news, that certainly seemed to help the market a little bit. And imagine if this wasn't sort of breaking big news on a Friday, that the news of the debt ceiling would look even more ugly than it currently does. So the Fed is definitely committed to bringing down inflation and to avoid, prolonged pain here in the United States and increase stability. And because they want to make sure that we're going to be okay. And of course, that the cost of goods don't just continue to skyrocket to further harm American families and, of course, United States businesses as well. I know. Yes. And by the way, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Also, I see Esther joining us on YouTube Live. Thanks so much for being here as well. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you've had a great week. We're going to be coming back again next week, but I just wanted to make sure to kick it off and let you know that we will be back next week with In the Loop. And of course, wish you a beautiful weekend wherever you are. Hope that you're surrounded with those that you love. It is my husband's birthday today. So I gotta wrap it up too and get things going because we're gonna have a very, very busy weekend here as well. Thank you so much, my friends, our esteemed audience, for watching, tuning in for Level Up Live. Truly appreciate you being here. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up if you can, and a like and subscribe. Stick a comment in there for us as well. Really appreciate that always. And you can always find full episodes of Level Up with Winnie Sun on NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, Samsung, Roku, and many other places. And don't forget to check out Yes Factor with Winnie Sun, which is on Apple Podcasts and on the LinkedIn Podcast Network. Thank you again for your support. We'll see you again next week. Have a beautiful weekend and take care.